If you want to be successful, you gotta have self-awareness. What's going on, guys? It's Uzziah, your success consultant, and today's video is about stepping up your game and becoming more self-aware. Self-awareness is the most critical factor to driving your success. Because if you don't know yourself, how could you ever be successful in the marketplace? You know, one of my favorite passages in the Bible that I always talk about is examining yourself. You got to examine yourself to know whether you're in the faith. And so many people will read this every single day and they'll understand it from a spiritual perspective as they should. But a lot of times they don't see the parallel and the crossover from a professional perspective. The same way that it benefits you to be able to examine yourself personally and spiritually, you got to be able to examine yourself professionally. So I want to go into 3 top things that you need to know from today's call. Number 1, if you want to be successful, you got to be aware of your strengths. What are your top strengths? Not just whatever you think is good. What are the top strengths that other people have told you about? Now, see, here's the problem. For most of you that are watching this video right now, you're listening to this and you're like, oh, well, you know, I don't really know what I'm good at. I don't really know my gift. I don't really know my talent. But here's the thing. How many times has somebody hinted at what your strength is, but you didn't catch it because you weren't actually listening? They complimented you on something and you took it for granted, not being able to see the value that came from the comment in a professional sense. You know, sometimes, and this is really interesting, a lot of people, they tend to discredit the things that they're actually good at because they're so busy looking at and chasing after something else. I've actually worked with some clients in the past that were sitting on mines of gold when it came to the strengths and the talents that came to them naturally. But they overlooked it because of the fact that they were too busy trying to, think about something else that they thought was a better strength to have. Don't look at what you don't have. Look at the strengths that come natural to you. So here's the thing. If you want to be successful, you got to know your strengths. And it's not just about what you think. It's about taking the analysis of the top 5 people that are closest to you in your life today. Utilize them. Don't just chit chat with them and just make small talk and you just, it's just nothing but loose change coming out of that conversation. What you need to be doing is you need to be maximizing the value of the conversations that you're having with people by actually asking them, hey, what am I good at doing? What are my top strengths? When a person is introducing you to somebody else and they go, hey, this is my friend right here. This is my guy. This is my road dog. This is my homeboy right here. And how do they compliment you as they introduce you to a person that you don't even know, right? Do they compliment you on how you talk? Do they compliment you on how hard you work? Do they compliment you on the relationships that you create? Do they compliment you on, the information that you know? What do they compliment you on if they were to introduce you to another person? Because chances are, as they're giving that introduction and they're speaking about you in a certain type of a way, they're actually hinting at how you're able to create value to strangers in this world. And when you think about it, that's the essence of business, right? The value that you can deliver to strangers in this modern world. So think about that. What are the top strengths that your inner circle of people tell you that you have? And if I'm you, I'm probably taking notes and I'm writing things down. Don't just let the good feedback that people are giving you going in one ear and out the other. What you want to be able to do is, as people are telling you all these great things about yourself, instead of just discounting it as nothing, you want to be able to say, hey, wait. This might be an opportunity right here. If I actually put time and put focus behind what this person is telling me about myself as a natural strength that I take for granted, then maybe I might find myself in a good position. And that really leads me to the second point. This is the perfect segue. Out of the different strengths that you're going to find out about yourself, maybe you want to develop your top 5 strengths, right? When it comes to some strengths, okay, you may be good at a local level when it comes to something, but maybe you might not be good on a national scale. So my question to you is, of these top 5 strengths that you've now understood and assessed from amongst your inner circle, the things that you even know within yourself are your core key strengths, right? Of these top 5 strengths, which one or two of these strengths that if you really put in the time, you really put in the sweat equity, you really put in the focus and blocked everything out, if you really doubled down on this particular strength and skill set, you could find yourself being one of the best people in the world at what it is that you do. And I want to share with you the story real quick. For me, what life was like growing up, not understanding the value of this principle. So, when I was growing up, I used to always get these people that would always tell me about the occupation that they thought that I would be best in. People used to always say, you know what, man? One day you're going to grow up and you should be a lawyer. One day you should grow up and be a politician. One day you should grow up and be a reverend. And, I was just kind of looking at them like, okay, this dude doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. I don't want to be no damn politician, and I'm thinking, okay, reverend, politician, lawyer. I'm like, okay, what are you trying to tell me? Are you trying to tell me that I just need to, go out and BS somebody? Why do you keep telling me about these different areas where I don't really have a lot of interest in it, but I keep hearing it over and over and over again from a lot of different people? They weren't exactly telling me my direct strength, but they were giving me different occupations where they saw that strength actually come to life, right? And so the ability to effectively communicate, the ability to be able to connect with others, the ability to be able to deliver a powerful message and have people convicted. These were many of the strengths that they were hinting at amongst these various roles and positions. But I always just didn't pay attention to it until one day I went to school to study computers, thinking that I was just going to live this life where I'm going to spend my entire life just focusing on being in the computer industry. So I spent all of my life on the computer, just, chatting away and typing with friends and having fun, playing computer games, doing whatever. And then I graduate with a degree in information technology, and I work at a computer company only to find that there's no way in hell that I could find myself doing this for the next 20 to 30 years of my life. Absolutely not. Didn't want to be one of those people that will grow old and rot away in that position. It just wasn't the dream for me. Even though I had spent so much time growing up on a computer, I would be on a computer every single day. I would have friends that were going out and doing this and doing that. I was chilling on the computer, talking to friends on the computer, looking up things on the computer. And as people were seeing that, computers and technology obviously didn't evolve then as it has now. But it wasn't until I actually started to think about the jam that I was in at the computer company that I started to recognize, you know what, Uzziah, what you're doing is you're working in a computer company, not realizing that this is actually the best area for your strength. Even though I was in a computer company, the problem was, one of the reasons why I didn't like it is because of the fact that I wasn't able to talk to people. I'm just sitting behind a desk, typing away at a computer screen, programming, doing this, doing that. I'm not able to connect with anybody's life on a personal level. And I was depressed for a lot of years working that job because I said, damn, here it is. I have this gift that I feel like God has given to me to connect with the world and actually help to change people's lives. But I'm never going to be able to do that because I'm just stuck behind this cubicle, not able to talk to one person that does anything to remotely try to change the world. And so all I had to do is take the skill of computers and technology and use it in a different way where I could showcase my value to the world on platforms just like this. All I had to do was make a tiny shift out of working on computers for a computer company into working for myself, where I'm showcasing my speaking and my ability to give you this message through technology and through a computer. When you know your strengths and when you know what you should actually invest the time in and how to go about doing it, man, won't that change the game for your life. Just by being able to make that shift for me personally, I was able to make more money in 1 week than I would have made in 2 months, working in a good position in corporate America, just by making a slight tweak, just by making a slight adjustment that was based upon my strengths. So again, my question to you is, what out of your top 5 strengths that if you actually honed in on it and actually got focused, didn't allow yourself to be so mired down by, I got this idea today and I got that idea and I got that idea. Listen, everybody got ideas. To hell with all the ideas that you got. This has to be the year with you getting focused in on one idea and actually making something out of it, rather than you having a million ideas and you take those ideas to the grave because you're never going to do nothing with it. I'm just giving you real talk today. Take your top strength and ask yourself, if I really put in the time, if I really put in the work, if I really got focused at this particular strength, could I be one of the best in the world at what it is that I do? And if the answer to that is yes, that's the strength that you need to focus on. Because again, you might have some strengths where, you might be the best person in the family at what it is that you do, but it's not going to make you competitive on any local level. And some of you might be competitive on a local level. You might be the best person at cooking on your block. You might be the best person at graphics and video editing, in your street corner. But are you the best person when it comes to audio, video type of skills in your city, in your state, right? You won't want to just be local. You want to be able to move towards a more national level with what it is that you're doing. So when you do that, that's going to make sure that you're always in a position to get paid. That's the reason why this discussion matters. See, if you're only good in your family but nowhere else, then nobody's going to pay you because you're not actually delivering value. If you're one of the best people in the world at what it is that you do, you're always going to be well paid. Why do top athletes get paid so much money? Is it because of the fact that it's actually fair that they make money from what they're doing versus whatever other jobs that other people are doing? No, not necessarily, but they get paid a lot of money. Why? Because it's hard to replicate the specific value that they give to the world in the way that they do it. So you look at a Michael Jordan, it's hard to replicate a Michael Jordan. You look at a LeBron James, it's hard to replicate LeBron. It's hard to replicate a Kobe Bryant. And that's the reason why they get paid top dollar. You've got to be able to take your strength that's going to separate you and put you in a league of your own among the best of the best in the world. And if you're not constantly training in that specific area, in some ways you're wasting your time. You're just doing a job to pay the bills when you could be stepping into your vision. You could be stepping into your strength. So that's what you should do. Third, final point, taking the strength that you got, because I know what you're thinking right now. I know that you're thinking, you know what, man, I got a strength, but I don't know, how would I make money off this strength? Nobody actually cares about this being a strength in the marketplace. I'm going to tell you, man, you got another thing coming. There's certain strengths that you have right now that you're taking for granted that somebody else in the world would kill to have. I'm going to say that again. there's some gift that God has put in your life that you take for granted every single day that somebody else in the world would kill to have. Somebody else in the world would kill to be able to have the communication skills that you have. Somebody in the world would kill to have the relationship skills that you have. Somebody in the world would kill to have your fashion sense. They would kill to have your, discipline, your focus, whatever the case may be. There are certain gifts that you're discrediting right now because you're too busy looking in other places. And really the answer is to look inward rather than looking outward. Instead of looking at what the next person got and what they're doubling down on, you got to look at what you got and really focus on making a powerful strength out of that. So how would you take your gift and monetize it? Well, fortunately for you, this is the best time in history to be able to do so. If you have any type of entrepreneurial vision, right? And we're not even talking about, 9 to 5, because maybe there may be certain jobs and certain career paths that might be suited to your strengths that you could get. But if there wasn't, guess what? This world is so large right now with 7 billion people in the planet that you could literally get on the internet right now, communicate your message with the world, and make money from being able to do so because there's somebody online right now that actually appreciates the gift that you have to share with the world. And this was what I had to realize as I was sitting behind a cubicle desk, leaving all of these different just gems and nuggets of information in my mind, and nobody else was able to get it. Think about that. Think about how maybe you might not have been able to take your gift to another level had I always stayed at that corporate job, never able to come out with these videos. You have a certain gift. There's a certain thing that you do really well that when you focus on just putting it in front of somebody out in the world is going to connect with that. And as you really hone in on it, people are going to be willing to pay you very handsomely. Okay? So what I want you to do is, I want you to leave me a comment and I want you to tell me what some of your top strengths are. Tell me what some of your top strengths are. And I want you to go through the exercise of actually finding this out for people that are within your top 5 circle. It shouldn't just come from you alone. You should be listening to what other people say, because hopefully you're not so delusional to the point where you think that you're good at things, but you really aren't. Some people are actually like that. And to make sure that you're not one of them, ask other people, because if you're on point with your strengths, other people will tell you that too. If other people are not telling it to you, then guess what? Maybe, just maybe, it's a hint that you should be focused on something else. All right? So leave me that comment. Tell me about your top strengths. Make sure that you speak with your circle about it. Make sure that you subscribe to this channel, because there's nowhere else that you're going to find online where you're going to have another black man take time out of running a business, making money, and come back and show you step by step all of the personal and professional development areas that you need to have in your arsenal to go out and make money too. I know that you've seen black folks that have actually made money in the world, but how many of them actually will come back and show you step by step, here's how to do this, here's how to do this, here's how to do this? How many times do you have the experience where somebody that looks like you is actually showing you how the game is played? Subscribe to this channel so you can get all of these different videos that's going to help you change your life. Play these videos over and over. Take notes. Apply the learning. Knowledge isn't power. Applied knowledge is power. You have to apply the knowledge into your life in order for any power to come from it. Otherwise, it's just holding up space in your brain. If you've already subscribed to this channel, share this message. Share this message with anybody else that needs to hear it. And guess what? A lot of us need to hear this. A lot of us are unaware of this, and that's the reason why so many people work jobs that they can't stand for the rest of their life. Share this message. Tell your story to the world, and somebody's going to be able to value it. All right? Take care, and I'll see you soon.